Oh, my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get it to go.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for continued coverage of the 2021 PWBA Summer Classic Series. We are coming to you live from the Go Bowling Classic, the first event of the Classic Series, coming up here from the ITRC, the home of Team USA in Arlington, Texas. We're getting ready for B Squad to hit the lanes for their 9-game qualifying block. A Squad was certainly interesting on our 43-foot condition for this first event. So we are excited. We are looking forward to seeing what's going to be in store for B Squad. They got their 10 minutes of warm-up set. They're going to get to the lanes here momentarily. But first, before I do that, let's bring in Matt Cannizzaro, who's joining me here in the Bowl TV studio. Hey, there he is. What's up, Matt?
How's it going, sir? How about that PWBA action down there? I got to go see it in person. That was different.
It was different. It was cool. It was great. The scoring pace was kind of all over the place throughout the course of the first block. But Dasha Kovalova, the two-time champion here in 2021, she won the last event we had as part of the regular full tour there at the Louisville Open. So she's continuing that success here in the early going at the Go Bowling Classic. But Matt, you got the opportunity to talk to Dasha. Tell us a little bit about that and kind of her thoughts coming into this event. And just this performance she had to kind of create a ton of distance between herself and at least the rest of the players on A Squad.
Well, as you know, she's always the comedian, so it was very entertaining. And she did finish with 260, so a big final game there to get to more than 200 over and feeling pretty comfortable. But as with any competitor, wanting to be modest about the performance, there's other things that could have happened. Things could have been a little bit different at times to maybe get a little bit more, so something to think about and work on for tomorrow. But she said after that win, didn't want to settle for kind of where she was at that point. So decided she had a break. Why not redo her span, right? Of course, you win an event. First thing you do is go toss all the equipment and redo things. And came in with 12 brand new bowling balls, new span, feeling a little bit more comfortable and confident. And of course, Aaron, as you know, new balls always strike, and she proved that today.
That's a fair point, Matt. Very true stuff. Interesting. Switching up the span. I know she was going to have the opportunity during the break to work with her parents. They were coming over. She was excited for that chance. And we mentioned about bowling with Chris Barnes at the PWBA striking against breast cancer mixed doubles as well. But yeah, pretty curious change. But that's the big part about this game. You can't stay content if you want to compete with the best in the world. And Dasha, for most of us folks, if someone told me I had to, or it would be best to switch my span after bowling, a great set or 300, 800, whatever it may be, I tell you to go run in the other direction really fast because I wouldn't want to talk to you. But she saw the need for that. There were things she needed to work on in her game, and obviously it showed off, averaging better than 225 in that 9-game block.
I think she's going to feel pretty comfortable about making this top 12 and making match play for tomorrow. That's, of course, the number one goal. A few other players definitely were ready to sweat it out. There's a couple in the plus 80, plus 85 range. There's a lot of chatter. What do you think the number's going to be? I heard anywhere from plus 100 down to mid 70s. So I think regardless of that, many of the players are going to be keeping an eye on that cut line. And I think the speculation was that this particular squad, whether it's just stronger in general or just a little bit smarter after having watched the last squad, of course, the opportunity to learn from what they did. And the expectation was that more than half of the bowlers in match play would come from B Squad. So we'll see if that's true or not.
That's why we bowl the games, folks. It can always work out on paper one way, but that's why we bowl the game. So we are excited to bring this action to you. Game one underway. We're going to go full screen here, just like that, so you can enjoy the action. You don't have to worry about looking at Matt and I anymore for a while, folks, which is always a bonus here on Bowl TV. We're going to start on lanes 5 through 8 here at the ITRC. We do have lanes 1 through 14. Every lane in play is covered on bowltv.com. For those of you watching on Facebook and on YouTube, hello. Thanks for joining us here. Of course, a big hello, as always, to the folks on Bowl TV as well. Very quick turnaround, obviously, to the end of the last block. But here on lanes 5 through 8, we're going to be starting off pretty talented group of bowlers. Quite a few accolades in this group. So on 5 and 6 to your left, we're going to have Sydney Brummett, Tanya Ramanpour, Danielle Mckeon, and Shannon O'Keefe. Pretty awesome 4 bowlers right there. We're going to move over to 7 and 8. We got Julia Bond, Stephanie Zavala, Kayla Crawford, and Caitlin Johnson joining us. So an excellent group of talented players right there to kick things off here. So a great way to have our essentially sneak peek preview here into B Squad as we watch game number 1. So this group will be, I think, set a very interesting bar to how this 43-foot condition is going to play moving forward into this block. But taking a look across the house, for those of you on bowltv.com, once again, you can choose your pairs and who you want to watch. Over on our 1 through 4 channel, Elise Bolton, Stephanie Schwartz, Taylor Bailey, Liz Johnson, Birgit Norreichs, Jillian Martin, Missy Parkin, and Brianna Clemmer. Over on 9 and 10, another channel available on bowltv.com, Rocio Restrepo, Melanie McDaniel, Brianna Cote, and Gigi Mason. Then on 11 through 14, Jen Higgins, Lauren Pate, Nisaki Mukotani, Stephanie Johnson, Kelly Kulik, Sandra Gongora, Jennifer Hokersack, and Valerie Bercier. So as Matt mentioned, that's a talented group of players. 56 total in the field, 28 on A squad, 28 on B squad. 43-foot condition we're using here for the Go Bowling Classic, 40-foot drop rush, 27.15 mils on the Kegel current oil, a 2.07 to 1 ratio. So high volume, slick oil. We saw a definite OB if you got the ball away from the pocket at all, outside of the kind of the range markers down lane, you were in trouble and hoping not to leave a 210 or a 3-7, depending on your preferred hand to bowl with. But so those were some of the characteristics we saw. We'll dive into some of the numbers from A squad, but for the man on the scene, let's bring in Curtis Von Kruger for some thoughts from A squad and looking ahead to B squad. From down below at the International Bowling Campus, there he is, Curtis Von Kruger. Welcome back.
Fellas, I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more bowling. And we got B squad today. And I think you guys were speaking to a point that I was trying to make earlier, and I think this squad is going to definitely be higher scoring. I mean, that's not a super high bar set, but I think the top level, I think there are a few extra, a couple of extra top end bowlers in this squad. And that's not to detract from the bowlers on A squad. There were phenomenal bowlers on every line. But you just look at this, I feel like this is just a slightly deeper squad. I think they're going to play them better earlier. And I think you're going to see 7 to 8 girls make it out of this squad as opposed to A squad. Some call me crazy, but I'm sticking to my guns. I'm saying that number is going to be 75. I originally called it about 90 after looking at the numbers here a little bit, and there was definitely a drop-off. The lanes looked like they were getting easier, and then they got harder at around game 7. And so I feel like 75 is a good number. Maybe Jordan Richard is the number. Who knows? So we shall see if I'm right or if I'm just blowing smoke, which is a possibility. Absolutely a possibility.
Well, the best thing is we get to find out all together here on Bowl TV.
Live on Bowl TV. Tell me your Bowl TV chat. Is that fact or fiction? Am I coming out of nowhere, or what do you think? Do you think the squad is going to score better given what you see, or do you think the number is going to be 63? Shailen Zulkifli coming in the 6th spot right now. So let's get your opinions.
All right, so folks, drop that in the chats. We'll go full screen once again. Curtis bringing out the gauntlet games there. I like that.
Hey, you got to keep them. You got to keep them guessing. And another interesting point, Jillian Martin, obviously a player that we have been keeping tabs on. Bowling on this pair, this pairing with Danielle Mckeon, Sydney Brummett. Strong pair there, strong pair. How do we feel like she's going to do? Do you think she's going to rise to the moment, or do you think she'll succumb to the pressure? I'm very interested to see. It's one of the most intriguing storylines we have in the tournament this year, this week.
Absolutely, and you do also have the ability, not only on bowltv.com, you can watch every pair, but we do have live scoring available too across the house for quick tabs across all 14 lanes in play. So very, very helpful tool for us. We use it quite a bit throughout the course of the broadcast. And for those of you on bowltv.com, if you're in the chat, you kind of already know if you've been here once or twice, we have a few different tabs to choose from, and that one in the middle gives you access to basically the page we're working from as we go through a squad with you, through a qualifying block, match play, whatever it may be. You can get access to the oil pattern, to the pairings, to just the roster in general, live scoring link, and of course, most importantly, in the standings as they get updated throughout the course of the block. And Curtis, you mentioned some of those numbers you threw out there. You said, at plus 75, you would be correct. That would be 4 players from A squad, and then 8 players from B squads matching or surpassing that number. Dasha Kovalova plus 229 out of the stratosphere compared to, and she finished 275, 226, 229, 266. So she basically went 170 over her last 3, which is pretty phenomenal based off of the scoring pace we kind of saw. Daria Payuk had a massive finish, 236, 255 to get to plus 108. Verity Crawley gave a few pins back to make it a little bit more interesting. 175 for her last game for plus 87. Diana Zavyalova, plus 82. Jordan Richard at plus 73. And then if you're looking at half and half, Shalyn Zolkeefly at plus 63. That 6th spot on A squad. So a great question, a great debate that we'll get to see kind of show itself throughout the course of this block. It seemed like we had a lot of people kind of just jammed up in that plus 40, plus 50, plus 60, plus 70 range, and then someone would drop, and then they come back and drop and come back. So there's a lot of back and forth through A squad. So will it be similar here, or will we see a few players get out ahead early? We really didn't have that at all. We had some players who were consistently near the top, but nobody really created distance until Dasha at the end of that 275 game was the catalyst to her creating some distance between herself and the rest of the bowlers on A squad. So I'm excited to see it. And as we mentioned, we got a great collection of players here to kind of see how they're going to be breaking down this pattern. To get things going. Danielle Mckeon, fresh off the win at the Lucy just over the weekend with EJ Tackett, her 6th career title. Bowling with Shannon O'Keefe, 14-time titleist, 2-time reigning PWBA Player of the Year. So if you ever want to scout a pattern or a pair to find out how it's going to play, these are probably 2 of the players you'd want to watch. So they're on the same pair. How great is that? Yeah, and then right next to him is Julia Bond, who already starting off with a strong 4-bagger. There's 2 bowlers on that, and I mean, it's easy for me to say right now through 5 frames because there's only one spare between the 2 of them. But I love Stephanie Zavala's role on this pattern, and Julia Bond is a shot maker. So those 2 players are, in my mind, I think are going to be the benchmark players for this squad. And of course, both of them are having an amazing season in their own right. But going back to A squad, a bowler that really impressed me to close out and kind of flex her mental fortitude was Daria Payuk. Mm-hmm. She, I think it was going into either game 7 or 8. She goes open to start the game, and then bails out a 2-0 in that game. And if you would have offered her a 2-0 in that game,
after the third frame. She would take it every day, twice on Sundays. Railed off a nice strike streak there, and then came back and shot some good games to put herself in at 100 over. Very impressed with that. She's had at times been criticized for losing focus, but I really feel like she came in strong there, picked up her makeables and strung some strikes together. And she had, when you heard her hit the pocket, it resonated, and you could really hear it out here. So very impressed with them. Verity had an open in the ninth, which might end up haunting her going into the ninth game and that ninth game when you talk about giving up some pins. So I'm really interested to see how things unfold. And just kind of an anecdotal cursory glance already, I'm seeing some more strike streaks than I did. Remember the high game in game one on A squad was 234. 234 by Cara Mangiola, who ended up actually going under for the block. But yeah, it showed you that it was pretty hard to hit early. So let's see how the pace kind of stacks up here with the first game of B squad.
Just a reminder for everybody, in case joining us for the first time today, the tournament format. We talked a lot about A squad, obviously, in the past couple of minutes, and A squad got their 9 games in earlier today. Just wrapped up about probably an hour 15 ago, hour and 15 minutes ago, I should say, something like that. It was a short time ago they finished up, but they bowled their 9 games. B squad's going to have their 9 games, and then from there the top 12 will advance to tomorrow's match play round. So just 12 of the 56 bowlers advancing to the next round here. So that's why that kind of cut line point is so important to keep an eye on. But heading into match play, then 12 match play games, so 2 6-game rounds tomorrow before we determine our top 4 total pinfall and bonus pins, determining that top 4 for the stepladder finals. So JT made a great point during the end of the last block that for anyone making it to match play, with the amount of bonus pins available, 12 games out there as well, if you make it in, you're going to have a chance to make the show.
Absolutely. And when you have a scoring pace that's slower, the impact or the ratio of bonus pins to just normal pins is a lot higher, and so you can pick up a lot of games by just keeping clean and winning your matches. You can gain a lot of ground to the field without shooting massive games. So bonus pins, man, 30 pins a game, that is a significant
Absolutely. And going back to one of the things you mentioned about Daria and just kind of the ability to bounce back. And one of the things, in talking to Jason over the years, and I'm sure you've had these conversations with him as well, is that, moving pairs game to game, the top players in the world, you kind of expect them by the time they get to frame, 4, 5, 6, 7, they pretty much had the pair figured out. And, you kind of work that way. You find out what you need to know, you make the adjustments, and then you finish strong to, wrap up those games. That was game 7 that Daria started off with 3 opens, made some ball changes, rattled off 5 or 6 in a row to put herself in position for that 2-0, and then did the same thing the next game to get into the 230s, through the last 5 to get there. And all of a sudden she went from being a player who was, if one hit doesn't go her way or, one bad shot in there, all of a sudden she's, looking at that game, another 2-0, and she's making the leap into the final game at, plus 15, plus 20, something like that, which all of a sudden now you have to shoot 250. But then she came in, in a better spot that final game, had a pair she can make some great shots on. She did that, took advantage. Big final game to jump into second place just like that. And you know what? We saw her do that in a short time frame at the Greater Nashville Open as well. Yes. So she jumped from 11th to 1st in about 4 games or 5 games.
Yep. She figured something out at that point in time, and it gave, I think she made a ball change, which gave her she had room right, and she could pull it. And when you give a player like Daria that much room, she has the ability to outstrike pretty much anybody out here on tour. And so, yeah, that was very impressive. But when you bail a game, when you bail a game like, she did in Game 7 and Game 8, it gives you so much more confidence going in, knowing that, hey, even if I make a bad shot, or, something doesn't go my way, I know that I can come back and still bowl a great game. So takes all the pressure off of you. And when she's bowling loose and when she's bowling free, like I said, she's as good as anybody on the planet. And I was really happy to see her find that success and really give herself some confidence going into match play tomorrow.
And folks, if you want to watch match play tomorrow, if you want to watch the rest of this qualifying block, for those of you on Facebook and YouTube, Game 1 is all we're here for before we send the broadcast exclusively to BowlTV.com. So at the end of Game 1, we'll have everything on Bowl TV. So we hope you head on over there and pick up a subscription to watch. A few different options to check things out. If you just want to watch the Go Bowling Classic today and tomorrow, you can pick up an event ticket for $8.95. Messenger there from Tanya. Let's go. Let's go, Messenger.
Go, Messenger.
Nothing gets me excited like a messenger. It's great. I love messengers.
Throwing them like Osku.
Absolutely, especially at the ITRC. They're few and far between there. So $8.95 just to watch the Go Bowling Classic for today and tomorrow. You can pick up an event ticket to watch all 4 events as part of the Summer Classic Series for $19.95. So that's all 4 events: qualifying, step ladder finals, match play, the whole everything. $19.95 for that. Or there's a monthly and annual recurring option you can pick up as well. The monthly recurring is $9.95. The annual is $79.95. In addition to the live event coverage, you get access to the entire site. You get the archived events, which are already posted and available from A Squad earlier today to check out, but all the on-demand content as well. And when you think about it, $9.95, so you're saving a few bucks. If you want to watch the entire event, looking ahead to the International Bowling Campus Classic, the regional event, and the Bowl TV Classic to wrap things up here at the Summer Classic Series. But that also gets you the PWBA Spokane Open coming up August 19th through the 21st, and then the U.S. Women's Open August 24th through the 31st. So it's currently August 4th, so that'll take you into the early parts of September. So with that, it's a great opportunity. If you've been hesitant to jump in and join the Bowl TV community, this is a supreme time to check it out, at least on the monthly recurring side, to check out these great events coming up on the PWBA Tour schedule. And in addition, of course, hang out with the Bowl TV community. It's a great bunch. We're in the chat each and every event. Many familiar faces you get to know over time. As we said yesterday, it's just like Cheers almost, except with bowling. So it's great. It's a great community. And we have giveaways as well. So all of that kind of coming together. Be part of the Bowl TV community. Check it out, bowltv.com. At the end of Game 1, we will be having everything go exclusively to bowltv.com. So we hope to see you throughout the course of the day. We'll be here for every game. We got every game and every pair covered here. So if you have a favorite athlete on tour, you can literally follow them for every game of this event and the next event and the event after that. So it's pretty awesome. So we hope you check it out. bowltv.com, the place to be. Curtis, I have a follow-up question to something we were kind of touching on as we were looking at those cut scores. And so we saw how tough they can play in that first squad, unless your name's Dasha Kovalova. And then she just does everything great. How much do you think that affects the strategy when players kind of see a lower score kind of, I mean, you still have to go out and average, plus, what do we say sixth was right now, plus 63, I think.
Yeah, I got to average 210, 208, 210, somewhere in there.
So when you come in thinking, if I find a way to average 210, I'm probably going to be good. Versus, A Squad didn't have that, didn't know what the scoring pace was going to be. And, maybe they're thinking early on, okay, I got to find a way to average 215, 220. How much do you think that helps the mindset for the players on B Squad, knowing maybe they don't have to be as aggressive, or do you think that potentially hurts them in the long run of things?
I think it can hurt them. I'm going to take an interesting angle here and say that it can hurt them. Necessity is the mother of invention, and I think that these players are so good that they're going to want to get all the pins they can. And so you need to stay aggressive, and because it's not just about today, it's about tomorrow as well. And you have to position yourself as aggressively as you can to be competitive in there. I think the squad will break the lanes down better. I think they already have a better strategy entering in. You heard a lot of tame cores with a little bit of aggressive cover stocks to kind of get a little bit more of a blended look through the pattern, and not jump off the back like some of the players were doing last squad. But I think ultimately the best players in the world are not going to look at what A squad scored. They're going to look how they played the lanes, but they don't care how they scored, because at the end of the day, it's still them versus the pins. And they're going to go out there and try to get as many of those pins as they possibly can.
Excellent stuff there, Curtis. Thank you for tackling that question. I appreciate it. And taking a look around on live scoring, it looks like the scoring pace is going to be a little bit higher out of the gates as well for B squad. Birgit Norreichs already into the 240s, could be into the 250s if she's able to double in the 10th. Brianna Klemmer can get to 249, so potentially two scores right there already higher than what we saw out of the gates early on in A squad. Julia Bond, we're watching her right now, still has 266 out there. Sydney Brummett, a nice string of strikes there. She covers up the spare. She can get into the 240s as well.
Yeah, and that's more players in the 240s than you had in the first two games, pretty much in the first game. So they're covering a lot of ground. And again, it's going to get easier. I think it will get I think we talked about it in a little bit where we asked, there was a little bit of that ghost hook where it kind of seemed like things were opening up a little bit in the middle of the block, and then the door shut pretty hard. I think that is actually going to be a little more reasonable in this block, where things will open up and the players are going to be able to jump on it. And I think they're going to create a little more room right for themselves. And if you give them an extra board or two right, then the scores are going to really open up for them. So, again, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm absolutely sticking to my guns and saying that this squad is going to outpace the A squad, and send 8 girls to the island, if you will.
To the island. I like that. Let's see, we do have some scores rolling in here for game one. Jen Higgins, 236 out of the gates. Lauren Pake can still get to 232, already into the 220s. Final score for Birgit, 255. Very nice.
Very nice.
Jillian Martin, a chance to get to 203.
Man, the international players having a strong showing. Top 4 places. International. Ukraine, Poland, England, Latvia. And then Shellen is in 6th. With sandwiched in between is Jordan Richard, obviously from Ohio, but strong international show. I think some of them are trying to get a little payback. Some of them didn't get the opportunity to come over and bowl the kickoff series here in January, and they're looking to get a little recompense, a little payback there for that. Julia Bond, really strong start for her. And I did make the prediction yesterday that she will seal up her bid for Player of the Year in this event. Still sticking by this. Still sticking by it. Keeping with my convictions, she can shoot 260 to start this day. And that would take a little bit. That'd be a nice little nice little cup of coffee for her to start her morning.
Her morning at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hey,
Danielle with the double. She can get to 221. Very well bowled game for her. A little misstep there from Sydney in the 10th. Still going to be at 216, though. Shannon O'Keefe finding a late rally of strikes. She can get to 227. Stephanie Zavala, 221. Still out there.
you see that angle? There's nobody else in the field that can do that.
And that's a spot for a lot of players, too. That's, you talk about the 210s we saw during that first block, the 210 combinations. That's because a lot of the bowling balls were getting to that spot and not necessarily shaping up the way it did for Stephanie. So,
and she can just peel it off, and she can do that, and then she can stay on top of the transitions, where some people are going to have to chase it a little bit. And when you can do that, it's gonna really help you out. So think about it, guys. We had 10 players in the positive after game one. 10. That number we've already surpassed that number. It looks like. So predictions are still holding true as, talking about a 210 right there. Shannon O'Keefe got it to that spot. And it just doesn't finish like that ball on 7 just finished it. It took the 8-pin straight back.
221 for Zavala. T-Mac at 220. See if Shannon can make a run at this here to get to 2-0.
Well, tried to bounce it. Not a lot of bounce.
Not too much bounce at the ITRC.
No. Not a lot of track, not a lot of bounce. Julie Bond getting up. Well, that one's in. Who it held. All right, Julia. All right. 266 possible for Julia to start her day. And that's it's looking pretty possible right there. There's Caitlin over there just misses. This is a makeable, man. Cost her at least 10 or so sticks there. Don't want to be giving those up early. Oh, stubborn 7-pin there. But she'll take 250. She'll take 255.
250 all day. Absolutely. So with the spare, she'll be tied with Birgit for the early lead, it appears.
Yeah. I am gonna go. I'm gonna go see what my eyes can see. Talk to a couple of ball reps. See what people are in. See what their strategy is. And you know what? I'm gonna share that information with you, lovely folks listening today and watching today. It's because I love you guys. I really do.
Well, thanks, Curtis.
Yeah. Not a problem. You guys make my job fun and enjoyable, and I value you guys. So I'm doing that just for you. And I'll be back, and we'll get things going for this second game. One game already in the books there, Aaron Smith.
Just like that. Just like that. All right, Curtis, we'll let you get to it. We look forward to the report when you come back. And once again, for the folks watching on BowlTV.com, we're going to take a quick break to just reset. You don't have to go anywhere. We'll be right back. Of course, all the other channels will be rolling. For the folks watching on Facebook and YouTube, we thank you for joining us here for this brief look into the Go Bowling Classic on your Wednesday. But we are going to go ahead and just have the stream going exclusively to BowlTV.com. You'll have to subscribe, pick one up. A few different options. Transaction fees do apply for all subscriptions as a heads up. But game 2 coming up next here. B Squad qualifying PWBA Go Bowling Classic. Only on Bowl TV.